Hello, friends. My name is Amelia Cotter. I'm an author, poet, and storyteller with a special interest in the supernatural, history, and folklore. And I'm going to read a story from the second edition of my book, Maryland Ghosts, Paranormal Encounters in the Free State, that just so happens to take place in Wheaton in Montgomery County, which is where my mother and her family grew up. The story is called UFOs in the Skies. So I collected many stories for the Maryland Ghosts book, and I was open to whatever paranormal encounters people had to share with me. And my uncle had a couple of really interesting different ones, and this one is no exception. So UFOs in the skies. UFOs are a fascinating phenomenon that causes us to wonder what's out there. They inspire awe, fear, paranoia, and plenty of conspiracy theories, either over possible alien invasions and abductions or what our governments are up to and just aren't telling us. Regardless of how we characterize them, UFOs have been spotted in the skies all over the world and continue to be reported every day. Maryland is a small state, but with its close proximity to the nation's capital, it is no wonder our state sees plenty of traffic from these mysterious spacecraft. The advent of digital modification of photos and videos has all but destroyed the opportunity to present real evidence of the existence of UFOs, save for the government outright admitting that they exist, and making a whole lot of witnesses feel better and not crazy. My Uncle Bernie's numerous encounters with the paranormal include 3 very detailed UFO sightings. Interestingly, the first 2 sightings occurred in the 1950s, when the US was experiencing the height of its fascination with and fears about outer space. The Cold War, the space program, and a number of films speculating on the possible outcomes of alien invasions, including The Day the Earth Stood Still and War of the Worlds, captivated Americans. His third sighting, which occurred more recently in 1993, took place over the vicinity of the Fort Detrick military base near Frederick. This incident conjures up the common UFO question. Are UFOs attracted to our armed forces and communicating with them? Or are they actually designed by our armed forces, performing top secret missions that civilians must never find out about? I'll let you read the accounts below and decide. So this is in my Uncle Bernie's voice. It was the summer of 1958, and I was 11 years old, mowing our backyard at Vivian Place in Wheaton. My sister Patty came running for me as something was wrong and my mom was very upset. As I turned to head for the front yard, I saw Mom looking up at the sky. At first, I couldn't see anything, as I was looking too high. I reached Mom, and she said, "There, Bernie, there it is, near the telephone pole by our driveway." I looked and saw a large white sphere that had a bluish undertone to it. The sphere seemed to be drawing power from the electric cables in the telephone pole, as there was some sort of static line from the sphere to the cables and a low crackling noise. It was amazing to see this in broad daylight. I don't know how long the sphere had been there. Mom seemed unable to move, as if transfixed to the sight. After a few moments, the sphere drifted skyward and headed north until it disappeared. Mom and Patty hadn't seen it. Your mother Louise and Uncle Chris had seen it. I had seen it, and your Uncle Tony was not born yet. We finally got Mom to go inside to cool off. We put her in her favorite chair, put her feet up, got her some iced tea, and she started chain-smoking cigarettes to settle down. I believe she was in shock. One other neighbor child may have seen it with us, Gretchen, who lived across the street and always played with Patty and Louise. I do remember late that night when Dad returned home from work. Mom tried to explain what we had seen, and she was still emotional. Dad asked me what I saw, and I told him. The other children were already in bed. I doubt any of us got much sleep that night. Later that summer, in late July, early August, I was preparing to head for the woods to go fishing and catch frogs. I looked up at the sky and saw a cigar-shaped object traveling from east to west at a great distance and at a tremendous rate of speed. I compared the speed to a small airplane that was flying low in the same direction, and a jet plane also flying in the same direction and leaving a vapor trail in the sky. The UFO seemed to fly between the 2 airplanes noted, yet not close to them at all. I was amazed at the speed this UFO had. I watched it until it disappeared into some clouds, and I never saw it come out from the other side. At the time, there was a lot of news about Area 51 in Roswell, New Mexico, that had people talking all about UFOs and possible invasions from Mars, etc. I just thought it was neat and caught 9 frogs that day. Sometime in 1993, I was driving home to Hagerstown from Rockville. I was passing through Frederick on Route 270, and when I got about to where there was an overlook, I could see a circular-shaped object in the clear sky standing still in midair over Fort Detrick near Frederick. At first, since I was moving, I thought the UFO was moving too. Not until I pulled my vehicle over and parked did I realize the UFO was not moving at all. I stayed in my vehicle and looked at the UFO through some hunting binoculars that I kept in the back seat. It appeared to be oval in shape and grayish-brown in color. I observed it for about 15 minutes until it seemed to disappear behind or into a cloud.